I do think it was a good episode. I had a lot of anger, and I have all of that anger for this movie. But like all of the things in the last movie that placated me a little bit are gone. So this I think this movie we can really tear into it, like a fresh piece of meat.
You wanna start? You wanna start tearing?
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Like
Welcome
two leopards.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Welcome to Direct-to-Video
VHS?
a podcast where we pair movies like fine wine. We decided a while ago not to genuinely just stop bringing the real world into the podcast.
I do think it's a thing that needs to be addressed. Just like I said, I guess what I will say is like just to kind of keep it short. Like we're not the people to say anything about anything, but there are voices out there that need to be listened to. Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. Go donate, go support, do what you can. And then when you need to take a break, we're here.
This week we watched Tarzan and Jane.
2002.
Oh boy.
This movie is 75 minutes long.
Oh, but you feel it.
You really... It is the longest, I think, hour and 15 minutes of my life. I've taken 2-hour naps that felt shorter than this. It was directed by 4 people. Victor Cook, Don McKinnon, and Lisa Schaefer, I believe, directed the individual episodes, quote-unquote, with Steve Loader serving as kind of an overall director and for all of the in-between sequences.
Yeah, and by the way, in case you guys didn't hear that right, yes, it's another series of shorts. The best kind of movie.
It's, you know what? I prefer interquels to this shit. This shit has been bad every time.
Don't you remember when? Yes, I do, and here's how it went. Why?
It's the problem that, I think a lot of bad writers have, where they, instead of having a story happen to the characters, all the characters sit around and go, let's think about this thing that happened. And then in my mind, as a reader or an audience, it's like, oh, so this entire movie has just been 4 people sitting on a log in the jungle, thinking about cool stuff that happened, but not doing anything themselves. Great. This is fantastic. Also, here's a fun fact. None of the original cast is in this movie. Nobody. They got no one back.
Sense. I mean, I could tell. I thought that might have been Wayne Knight, but he wasn't funny anymore, so that should have clipped me in.
It's...
but everybody else is like, their voices are wrong.
Yeah. I think the closest voice was probably the professor, but then that's probably just because he didn't really, I don't know, he's not really a character in the first movie or in this one, so I was like...
small character.
I will say, I remember the professor having a mouth in the first movie that, opens. But in this movie, his mustache just kind of moves. I don't know, he's like a red versus blue character. It's just the head moving up and down when he's talking. I don't know. It was kind of bad.
No. Kind of bad. Do we have anything to say about the production before we get into this movie?
Absolutely not. There is nothing out there about this other than none of the... I don't even know how much this movie cost to make. I know nothing about this.
I hope it wasn't a lot, because...
It doesn't feel like it was a lot.
Did the thing that I've only think I've seen in 2 Disney sequels, where it does not do the Disney logo in the beginning, and you're like, oh, they didn't like this one.
Yeah.
Instead it drops you right in, and I was astounded because it wasn't immediately terrible. I was like, oh, the jungle looks really good. Oh, is this not gonna be bad? And then as soon as a person showed up, I was like, never mind.
I do think, and I noticed this really early on because I noticed that there were a lot of backgrounds that looked way better than anything else in the movie, and I remembered that the last movie, all of the backgrounds were done digitally.
Did they just reuse the digital backgrounds?
I don't know if that's true or not, but I kind of have to believe it, because some of these backgrounds don't look awful.
Yeah.
But they also
look
so familiar. Very few shots in this movie was I like, oh, this is a new place. And the ones where I was, just looked bad.
It also opens with... Not only is the animation, hilariously terrible, but it's just the same Phil Collins song. but with reverb and a duet part.
And whoever is singing that duet part, like, God bless them, they sound tired. Like, they sound like they were a college roommate who was asked for a favor. Like, as much as I thought this song sucked, it sucked so much harder in this movie. It's not good. But we get into this movie. The crux, quote unquote, of the plot is that Jane and Tarzan's 1-year anniversary is coming up because they're married, I guess.
The marriage is only referenced sometimes, and I would have liked to have seen the marriage because there's literally only maybe 2 people who a marriage would be important to.
Yeah.
And everybody else, everybody who would be at the wedding, they would be really confused and know that they were just doing this because of Tarzan, because he wants to do it for Jan. And that already sounds much more interesting than this boring-ass, stupid thing they're doing. By the way, Tarzan's face just looks so fucking weird in this movie.
It looks like a wedge. It looks like just a triangle. It looks like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb, right? Like, it's the same shape no matter what direction he's looking. It's weird.
And it means that every time he has an expression, like his expression changes, it looks so off because the shape of his face doesn't change.
Yeah, and I will say, this is probably the worst movie to make a TV show out of because there is so much skin in this movie. That's hard to animate. You can't cheat with that. And I'm realizing just now in this moment that that's why there's no fucking gorillas in this movie until the very end. Because gorillas are hard as fuck to animate. And the one that they have in the movie is barely in it and looks terrible.
That does make sense. Because I was thinking about how there are other gorillas in Tarzan. I was like, we don't really get to see his mom at all.
At all. She gets no lines. She says nothing.
Nope. Anyway, so Jane wants to plan a party for Tarzan for their anniversary. And Tantor's like, no, remember last time you threw a party? I think it went something like this.
That's a harp sound.
The most contrived plot I have ever seen.
This is absurd. And this comes back, and every time it comes back, I get more mad about it. So, Jane is visited by 3 of her friends from England.
Yes. From high society England.
Who are dressed somehow even more absurdly than she was at the beginning of Tarzan, and in ostentatiously awful colors. And they said that they were worried about her because they heard that she decided to stay in Africa. And then the captain walks in. The captain from the first fucking movie walks in, and he's like, well, hey, what's going on, Jane? Well, I'm going to go back to the boat. I'll see you guys in like a week, I guess. And it's like, hold the fuck up. You were supposed to tell people that they died.
I guess he's not a good liar, Andy. Apparently. Okay, well, here's the thing. Here's what happened. He wanted to tell people about the wild man. And at the very least, because I was so mad about this for about 20 seconds, there is a reason for these girls to know where they are, which is that he knows where they are. And I was like, okay, fine. That doesn't make anything else okay.
This entire plot is absurd. For some reason, Tarzan is acting even like more wild man than I think he ever does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should know what personal boundaries are at this point. I don't know why he's like sniffing them and shit.
Especially because later in one of the other shorts, which are connected to these shorts, it turns out that he has had more interactions
with humans.
And it's like, yeah, he should know when he's being off-putting.
At some point, Jane says that she didn't mean to cause all that worry. And I do want to reiterate that, yes, she did. She told them to say she was dead. Or her dad did.
Yeah, I mean, she just wanted to get down. But only as a proper Christian. They needed to be married first.
Had to get married. Good job catching Christian, yeah.
Okay, so these 3 girls, I can't remember their names.
It doesn't matter.
One of them sounds like Daphne Blake. So that's that voice actor.
Yeah.
One of them is slightly more snobby than the other two, and one of them wants to bone Tarzan, which I guess I get.
One of them is incredibly supportive of Jane. Too supportive.
Maybe.
She's like, yeah, in it to win it.
She like shows up and she's like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, no, I understand.
This is ideal. Does he come to go? But at this point we find out that Tarzan and Jane moved into Tarzan parents' tomb. I think this is the only joke in the movie I think that got a genuine laugh out of me.
Oh yes, where
so
they live in the treehouse, which to be fair was pretty well built.
It's an awesome house.
Not well built enough to keep out leopards.
What is?
And Jane was talking about how Tarzan's parents built the house, and Tarzan was like, yes, they were killed by Saber, the leopard, right over there.
It's the delivery, everything about this joke is fantastic. It's, I think, the only good thing about this entire, 1 hour and 15-minute piece of shit is like, a nugget of like 2 seconds of gold.
Mm-hmm.
But it got me through the rest of the movie, so.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Andy, what is tea made of?
Leaves.
Right.
And water.
Cool. As a British person, two British people who really like tea, should not Jane and her father have, figured out how to make tea from dried leaves?
Well, and here's the thing, right, is there are definitely strains of tea leaves from the African jungle, right?
It can't be that hard.
I think it further reiterates that these are just two people who don't actually know anything.
That's true. Jane is not very good at living in the jungle in this movie, which is kind of a bummer.
It's one of those things where it's it's fine, but Jane never gets.
She needs to be saved all the time,
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
She gets to be competent for 0.2 seconds in every short, and it's immediately taken away from her.
After the girls get freaked out by Tarzan, Jane wants to show them that she's exactly the same as she used to be back when she lived in England. So they're gonna go for a good old British picnic.
Yeah.
And she's gonna make Tarzan wear his suit. But Tarzan has been told by Turk that she just wants him to wear pants. And for some reason, this is bad. This
movie throws out the words civilized and savage around.
Uh-huh.
In a way that is not good. This movie doesn't understand, I think, the weight of what it is saying when it throws these words around. These are very heavy words that have, hundreds of years of racial implications.
I did not feel that weight here, but I would later when we see more and more imperialism in this movie.
As the movie goes on, it becomes more and
into the 20th century.
It becomes almost malicious that there are no black people around.
Oh yes.
Right? It's this is some fucking Get Out shit. It's what happened to them? I bet the French guy killed half of them. Mustache twirling motherfucker.
So Tarzan doesn't want to wear pants, so he's not going to go on this picnic because he's ready to have a huff.
I do like his assertiveness here, which is I'm not going to pretend to be an upper class gentleman. That's not who I am.
It's just that the only thing is that later, fairly soon later, the professor's like, "Hey, she does everything for you. She gave up everything for you. Can't you put on pants for a little while?" And he's like, yeah, actually, you're right.
No, this actually makes sense, old. And it's one of those things where it's that is also true. That is also correct.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if they had a conversation about it instead of fighting, then they would have gotten to that conclusion.
It really kind of feels like these are two people who don't know each other at all.
Yeah. It is such a simple thing to be somebody slightly different around people you don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There is nothing wrong with that.
No.
Because it's not like you're changing yourself for people, because they're gonna leave.
I doubt these women are even gonna make it back to England.
No, I mean that the captain has already lost his boat to pirates once.
Oh yeah, no,
He's
that guy
not very good at what he does.
They are going down in the middle of the Atlantic. At this point, I think we meet these two other leopards? Jaguars,
I believe. Well, shit. Where do
Panthers?
jaguars live? Panther is not a real thing, I don't think.
But they are black.
Like, a panther is like a catch-all term. It doesn't actually mean a specific... Okay, it is a panther. I'm sorry.
Oh. All right, cool. If it is I was going to say, if panther is a catch-all term, I think it's perfectly applicable.
I'm sorry. A black panther is a catch-all term for both leopards and jaguars that are black.
Okay, so they could be either. Well, they don't have spots.
They are jaguar or leopards. Sorry, damn it. They're leopards because jaguars are in the Americas.
Okay, cool. So they are leopards.
God, we trip over this every time.
It's like it's like, to be fair, neither of us know anything about animals. So leopards. So these two leopards named New Room and Sheets.
Sure.
Something like that are introduced. They fight with Tarzan a bit, and then he throws them into the horizon like they were fucking Team Rocket.
And meanwhile, or I guess later, the next day or whatever, the girls go out alone without Tarzan or even like Turk, like without anybody who knows how the jungle works.
Yeah, just alone.
Right, and Jane's like, Psh, I know what I'm doing. She doesn't know what she's doing.
No. I will say, she does seem to know this part of the jungle pretty well. She knows how to get to this place. I think the issue is, I think the issue of the matter is brought up later, and I think it's good how it's brought up.
But there is this moment where, like, I hear what is clearly one of these leopards, and she's like, Psh, ignore that. It's like, Jane.
Come on, Jane. How tragic would it be if Tarzan lost his wife the same way he lost his parents?
Oh.
And now we have a movie. It's a kind of a boring movie that just fridges the woman character, but... So, not a good movie, but it's a movie, and not 3 bad episodes of a shitty TV show.
The girls get chased up a tree.
By the 2 jaguars.
By the jaguars, and then the tree falls down until they are first skidding across mud, and then the water, and then Jane fights the jaguars.
This is the dumbest thing in the world because, like, all jungle cats know how to swim.
Yes. All big cats except lions, I want to say?
Yeah.
Are very good swimmers.
Which, I mean, fair, lions don't live in places that have a lot of rivers.
This movie does not know how animals work.
No. It also doesn't know how human feet work, but we'll get to that.
Oh my gosh!
So...
Here's the thing. The thing you're thinking of might not be the thing I'm thinking of, because what I was about to say is it's not that easy to make heels into flats.
No, right? Absolutely. That's not what I was thinking of. But no, that is not how heels work.
Right? They'd just be like walking on their ankles. That's no good. You're not going to move faster like that.
It is actually better for them to wrap their feet in a cloth and walk barefoot.
Yeah, that's what I would have expected to do, or even just walked barefoot and just like shrug away the fact that there are like thorns and pine needles and stuff.
Yeah, like listen, it's like either that or like blisters.
Yeah.
Either way, you're gonna get an infection. Like, sorry, these women are dead. It's the 1800s. They're gonna go back to England, get sick, get leeched, and then die.
Is it the 1800s though?
Oh well,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
God, that made me so mad.
Oh, it's absurd. So eventually, they lose the leopards in the river, and then they're walking, and they find the leopards again, and one of them complains, and the leopards hear them, and Jane's like, "Now look at what you've done. We have to run again." So they run again.
Yeah, and she does like a like smirk and eye roll, and I'm like, Jane, there are fucking leopards. Quit being a sassy bitch. Yeah, get out of here.
Now is not the time to be right. I mean, you're right, but now is not the time. Yes. At this point, we cut back to Tarzan, who's just arrived at the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. In a suit, because he has decided that
he's gonna be nice and a good person. So
yeah, he will immediately lose this suit, which is...
you can't suits. It depending on how tailored that suit is, which I'm imagining it's not. You can't move around much in those, right? So
yeah,
it's gotta go. It's also the only suit he owns.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the one thing that the Jaguar didn't tear up of his dad's.
Yeah.
The one thing of his dad's a jaguar didn't tear up.
Look,
I'm an English major.
Tarzan sees this crime scene. There's like food is scattered everywhere. There's like fur everywhere. It's like, oh my god.
It's like an episode of Sherlock.
It really is. And and fucking Tarzan
goes to his mind palace.
He goes to and he starts sniffing things, and it's like, why are you sniffing things? Clearly something went wrong. But he starts sniffing things, and he's entering his mind palace, and he's like, I know exactly what happened. It was a boomerang. And then he decides to go find these leopards, I guess. Fuck that show. I'm waiting for the day that a Sherlock movie as good as the old Basil Rathbone ones comes out.
So Tarzan the Ape Man, he goes and he just shows up.
Yeah, he's just there, you know? It's time for him to save the day.
He needs to be there now, so he's there. He beats up these jaguars. He does not kill them. And I'll tell you why. It is because it's a sequel. And we will see this multiple times. You can't kill bad guys in sequels.
And it's like, he could at least throw them off a cliff.
But he just
chases them away. Well, they do drop a big rock on him.
Oh, yeah, he does. But they do run off still.
They do run off still. They get away.
There are 3 sets of villains in this movie, and none of them die. And that's not terrible or anything. I'm not saying you always need to kill the bad guy. But, like, Disney movies tend to kill the bad guy?
Yeah.
And then in the sequels, they tend to not.
And it's weird. It's a shift, right? Like,
yeah. I don't know why that is. I guess since this is what's a tie-in to the TV show, maybe they wanted to be able to bring all these characters back.
Oh, yeah, all these amazing characters.
Yeah, only one of them had really anything going on.
Like Leopard's new room and sheets. We really need to bring them back. Slap them on a mug for kids to buy. I want to go back to the log fight real quick.
Okay.
That log fight, like the lake in the first Tarzan movie, really is of varying size. Because at first, it's barely big enough for them to climb up, but then when it breaks off and lands in the river, it's like huge. Massive. And then and then at some point, it's too small for Jane to like jump over like one of her friends. But then when she's fighting the leopard, it's big enough that like and wide enough that she could like do some fucking kung fu moving around and shit.
Uh-huh.
And then it breaks in half, but it's still the same size. Because there's 2 halves now, but they're both the same size as the original half, which is some fucking Jesus making bread shit. Like they just made one log into 2 equally sized logs, and it's I don't know what's happening in this fight scene. And the reason I bring this up is because they chose to do this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they made this choice to put a fight scene on a log, and they fucked it up so bad. And every other fight scene after that is just as poorly choreographed and spaced out. It never gets better than this log fight.
Yep. You heard it here first. Quote Andy, it never gets better than this.
It does kind of suck that the best one of these episodes to me is the first one.
I kind of love the third one, but not because it's good. Because it is demonstrably bad.
The third one, to me, is like, oh, they at this point, they ran out of money. They didn't give a shit.
It's not just them. It made me so angry, all of the things that happen and that are said in the third one. It's... that, like, it's kind of great.
Yeah.
It's the one part I might not forget after I go to sleep tonight.
Oh, no, for sure. I remember, I think, the third episode much more vividly than any of the other ones. I took extensive notes, by the way.
Okay.
I was so mad the entire time. I had to pause the movie, right? And, like, write down notes. There are multiple notes in here that are, like, half sentences. So they're fighting the leopards. They kill the leopards. There's a whole thing about Tarzan being able to imitate noises in the first movie, but in this movie, he just kind of grunts at these cats. And so over the course of all of this fighting and all of these bad action scenes, Jane's friends become good people, I guess.
They, become more willing to give Jane the benefit of the doubt, or something. I don't know.
They all get their, like, little hero
leave,
moment.
So who cares? Jane and Tarzan have proven that their love is true.
Yeah, and now they're supportive of it. My favorite part, though, is Tarzan's in trouble, right? He's getting his ass kicked by these panthers somehow. And Jane's like, oh my god, I need to go help him. So she grabs a vine and starts to run out there. And this fucking snooty bitch comes up behind her and taps her on the shoulder and says, no, Jane, take this vine. How would you know it's better?
That was so weird because those vines were exactly the same.
Right? It's like, you haven't lived in jungle. You don't know how the jungle is.
If that had been set up, if there was like a moment earlier, I don't know, with a vine, just give me something.
Where she looks at a vine and goes, that vine looks really sturdy. And Jane tests it and it's like, wow, you have a good eye for finding sturdy vines.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
Here. It's like somebody promised me a cake and just gave me a pan of Ready Whip. There's no substance.
But it's so infuriating because it's like Jane doesn't even get to be competent alone. She still needs help from this other woman. Right? Like she can't just go help her husband. But she just kind of shows up and distracts the leopards and is in distress long enough for Tarzan to get his act together.
Yeah.
And they beat the Panthers and they win.
Yay! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And the women all leave and they're like, we're gonna miss you so much, Jane. We're gonna tell everyone that you're here.
That won't go poorly.
And that you're having a great time living with your jungle husband. And then that sounds like a racial slur.
Oof, it does.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
But living with your Tarzan, and that's when her friend is like, do they come to go? And Jane's like, leave.
Go.
Get out of here. There are no rooms or walls in the jungle.
Well, were you on a boat for 2 months so you could drool over Jane's husband? Get out of here.
Right? Like, come on. Have some class.
Keep it in your pants. So the moral of the story is Tarzan did not like those people.
and
therefore would not like a party.
That is kind of the best part about this entire experience, is that at the end of every short, they tell you what the moral of the short is, and they are so shallow and so nothing that like the writers knew that this was nothing. This was less than nothing. There was so little air here that if you tried to breathe it, your lungs would be sucked out of your body. Like, nothing. That's what happens in space, by the way. It's a pressure equalization.
But it's okay, Andy. It's okay. Because Turk has a story now about why it's a bad idea to want a diamond from Tarzan.
Actually, Turk doesn't have that story because Tantor sits on Turk and tells the story.
So, my guess at the top of this was that, Tarzan would topple a blood diamond ring.
Uh-huh.
And I am very mad that that's not what happened, because that would have been
something
so much more interesting, so much less super dumb.
I do think
it would have been. You ever read any of that comic, The Phantom?
Yeah.
The Phantom is not like a good comic, and racially is pretty weird.
It's like a proto-Batman.
Yeah, well, he's like a white guy who's like a protector in Africa. And it's like, that's weird and not addressed well enough for me. But like, it could kind of be what Tarzan is, but he's not.
Well, and I will say this. I do not think that this Disney Channel original movie is the place to really talk about like child slavery in Africa.
Hey, you know what? Maybe they shouldn't have fucking brought up diamonds then.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is they probably shouldn't have brought up diamonds.
Especially because the people who wrote this short do not know how diamonds work.
No, or where they come from, or anything
about... you know what? I had these notes for the end of this one, but I'll just say them now. All that the makers of this movie know of mining, they learned from Snow White. I don't know where they learned how volcanoes work, but they got all of it wrong.
Yeah.
And
absurdly.
While I'm at it, that's not how crocodiles work either.
No, and just... we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually we'll get to it, but I need to send something to the chat. So I need to get that ready for when we talk about it. The first thing I noticed when we started this short is, hey, it's Jim Cummings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just doing the Pete voice, just peeking around. I will say it's a little disconcerting to hear Pete/Tigger say, "Oh, I gotta kill him first." Sorry, Piglet, but you don't get to be the only Tigger, like me, without shooting first. It's weird, but it's great. I love Jim Cummings' voice so much that every time he shows up, I'm like, yes, fine, this is acceptable. He doesn't even have to try, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's that guy. From the get-go, this plot is like insane. There's a dock now. There is now a dock in the jungle. So the colonialization and destabilization of Africa has historically begun.
First fucking thought. It's like, so there's this dock here, and like they go into this little hut, and there's this fucking French guy. And like, here's these British guys talking to this French guy, and I'm like, there are no black people here, and it's weird. And like a few months before, because we're not fully at a year yet, a few months before, Tarzan had not seen any humans at all.
So it's kind of malicious, right? It's evil. Like, how is there no black people at all?
Yeah.
And again, it's like historically, this means that we are now like into the deep colonial and destabilization of Africa. This is when the bad shit's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there are people in these ports of call who know of Tarzan. He's not a legend. He's not fucking Bigfoot.
He's just this fucking guy who gets mad at you if you shoot something in his forest.
Yeah, don't shoot guns. And listen, I get it. He's against guns, but maybe he should just be against people.
I mean, to be fair to him, he does really distrust people.
Does he? Like,
he keeps having moments where he doesn't like people, but still like goes along with them.
And it's like,
so I don't know.
Motherfucker needs to get a backbone. All those muscles and not a spine amongst them.
Bam! Yes. So, yeah, Tarzan is like known by this French guy, and he's like, oh, he's the only one who knows the jungle well enough to help you two British dudes who definitely aren't here to kill something. And then Tarzan just shows up.
He literally just shows up to break a gun and say, I'm here and I'm Tarzan. And then he leaves. He doesn't even stick around.
So, can I talk about an issue that this will show up a little bit later, but I'm thinking of it now and I don't want to forget it.
Yeah.
The issue is this idea, so you can't kill bad guys in Disney sequels for some reason.
Yeah.
So they always end up like arrested, right?
Yeah.
That's the middle of the jungle. There are no police.
No.
So the shorthand, it seems to me, is that colonization equals safety. Because now, these bad guys are going to be taken away because you have somewhere to put them. And I don't know if that's what they meant to do, but it's what kind of happened, and it's gross. It's gross and bad.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's definitely like such a misrepresentation of what the actual... Well, and it's the maliciousness is that there are no indigenous people.
Right.
At all.
And that Tarzan, a person who, obviously he is not native to Africa, but he has lived all his life in Africa, the fact that he can just be like, yes, I trust these invaders to just take care of this. It's ridiculous.
It's absurd. And incredibly... It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you even know even know a little bit of anything about this period of history, it's like it's actively harmful to the truth of what was actually going on. So these motherfuckers are like, we want to get diamonds. Here's this magazine advert that I just carry around about diamonds to remind me why they're so valuable, because I would forget otherwise.
To remind me, the diamond smuggler, about why I love diamonds.
So Tarzan sees this advert and he's like, well, I don't know. Do women like this? What is he doing? And they're like, well, he's proposing to her in marriage. And Tarzan's like, well, I got married and we didn't do any of that shit. And he's like, well, now I have to do this for Jay, I guess. So he goes home and he tells them, I'll think about helping you. He goes home and talks to Jane and kind of prods her about diamonds. She goes on and on about how amazing this one friend of hers' wedding was, and then Tarzan looks all sad, and she's like, oh no, but our wedding was great.
And then the only thing we learn about the wedding is she had a gorilla for a bridesmaid, and that is not enough.
That's not enough information. I was like, there was a small part of me that was like, I know this movie's not going to do this because it would be insane, but I kind of wish we got a flashback right now.
then one of the flashbacks could have been to the wedding, and it's just not.
It's crazy that it's not.
So disappointing.
Could you imagine? Like they're having this wedding in the jungle, right? And half of the open area where they're getting married is like gorillas, and then the other half are like incredibly scared British people.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing.
It would be amazing. And the captain's doing all of the officiating, because that's what captains do, I think.
That was a good idea. I was going to have Tantor do it, but yours makes sense. He is a captain.
Both, I think, work.
Tantor seems like a commander room to me.
I bet Tantor knows, that motherfucker knows about gerbs. I bet he knows how to officiate a wedding, right? He's got the little collar thing.
Yes, little priest collar.
A little priest collar.
Okay.
So Tarzan decides, okay, I'm gonna go help these people, and so he lies to Jane for no reason.
I guess because he wants a diamond to be a surprise.
But like, he could just say, "Oh, some people need my help in navigating the jungle. I'm gonna go do that." Surely she wouldn't object to that.
So yeah, he starts leading them through the jungle, and Jim Cummings is all like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him before he takes all the diamonds."
Which
okay, Jim. Simmer down. His partner is like, dude, calm down.
If you kill him, we won't get to the guy. The number of times this guy has to convince this guy not to kill Tarzan. Like, well, if you kill him, we won't know where the diamonds are. Well, if we kill him, we'll have to dig for the diamonds by ourselves. And then later, after he kills Tarzan, he doesn't kill Tarzan, but they think he does.
Right.
He says, "Oh man, we shouldn't have killed Tarzan. Now we don't know how to get back."
It's so weird because at the beginning, they're like, the French guy tells them that Tarzan doesn't care about money. And then Tarzan asks for one of the diamonds.
Just not even a handful. One.
Yes. And as invaders, they should know that not everybody has the same wants as they do.
Like, these two cannot fathom the idea that a wild man who lives in the jungles of Africa where there is no...
Was raised by gorillas,
where there is no economy, right? Wouldn't want money? And also, didn't even... this guy knew where to find diamonds and never sold them? Clearly, he doesn't give a shit. They pack a bunch of dynamite onto Tantor, who's agreed to help out for some reason. And...
because he believes in love, which is why he'd be great to officiate the wedding.
It's true. And there's a really dark line here where the Tantor kind of falls down a cliff, and Jim Cummings is like, "Oh, Don, does he know that's dynamite?" And the other guy's like, "Well, if it explodes, at least we'll get the ivory." Which is like, fuck, dude.
That is really dark.
That's really dark. Then we get the weirdest transition I think I've ever seen, where we see the professor from inside the mouth of a flower.
Yeah.
And that's a choice that was made.
So the professor keeps almost getting killed in these movies. Jane does not really belong in the jungle.
No.
But the professor, negative belongs in the jungle.
I think he, exudes helpless prey so much that, everything's out to get him.
This plant is eating him. In the last one, he got stuck in a tree for the entirety of the short. And I think in the next one, he, almost dies, 2 more times.
He blows himself up. He literally blows himself up. It's insane.
Working on a radio. It's impossible.
Radio. There's not even things in that would explode that violently. How do you fuck up that bad? Also, radios wouldn't work that far away from anything. You'd need relay stations. But whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't know how radios work.
I mean, it could.
Tony, the only way a radio would work is if there's something nearby sending a noise at that frequency, but there's a fall-off distance. It can only travel so much before the jungle stops the noise. So what you need to do for the radio...
They are in the middle of the jungle. Maybe if he was up high, it would work.
But even if he was up high, there still needs to be something out there sending a radio signal.
Well, there is the trading post.
But I didn't see a radio mast.
I mean, I didn't see a radio mast either, but it seems like, quote, civilization is traveling further and further into the jungle.
I honestly am actually very curious as to when radio broadcasting was invented. The concept. 1904.
Yeah, I knew it was early 20th century. because of How to Invent Everything. Okay, so this is the first nod to the fact that it's somehow now the 20th century instead of Victorian era.
Yeah, so we're all over the place.
Oh, no, but that was in that one. That's in the third one where everything is the 20th century for some reason.
Yeah, where we just hop forward.
Gosh, so yes, the professor almost gets eaten by a plant while Jane is having this freak out about her marriage and decides to go get Tarzan.
Yeah, there are so many answers to the question, why would someone lie to me? The response, he's at the trading post, is not any of those answers. At this point, they encounter crocodiles, which are like the leopards of the sea.
Sure, except crocodiles don't really hunt. They just kind of sit there and let their prey come to them.
Yeah.
And I mention this because these are the most dogged crocodiles. And the other thing is, they're faster than humans, apparently. And holy shit, dude.
I just need you to understand what is happening.
Oh no!
In this bad image.
How far away did his...
So what, Tony, I want you to try and describe to the listeners what I just sent to you.
Okay, let me do some stuff. So they do get attacked by the crocodiles. 4 of them at once go after the 2 British guys. Tarzan jumps in between them and grabs 2 with his hands and 2 with his feet, holding onto their mouths so they can't get them open.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is that holding a crocodile's mouth shut biologically would work.
Yeah.
And the reason this is ironic is because nothing else that happens biologically in this scene would work.
Like the fact that apparently Tarzan has the amazing ability to turn his toes into thumbs.
So Andy has sent me a picture of Tarzan holding on to all 4 of these crocodiles. And his toe, okay, so the one on the bottom right is the most egregious.
Yeah.
That one not only seems to have a thumb on the bottom of the crocodile's jaw, while 4 toes at the top, but also like an entire palm.
Yeah.
Which is not possible. It's like he has a toe on the back of his foot.
I also want to talk about the left hand, the
left
hand.
Yes. What the hell is happening with this, like, knuckle there?
Yeah, it just doesn't look... It looks so bad.
It looks like part of his knuckle was cut off at some point, and also he recently got a bee sting there.
It looks like he's wearing Fleshmans.
To say nothing of the fact that if you look at his body, it is just wrong.
it is malproportioned in a very spider-like way.
His neck is God.
His neck has ceased to exist. Well, no, you can kind of see it.
His legs turn into torso in, like, maybe the most awkward way I could imagine. I cannot describe this.
It's horrifying.
Boy.
As soon as I saw this, I paused it and I just kind of stared at it for a while. like my brain, because the artist in me is trying to figure out, how did this happen? Like, what were they looking at to draw this? And the answer is they weren't looking at anything. They certainly weren't looking at a human being or crocodiles, because that's not what crocodiles look like either. This looks like a scene from the fucking Land Before Time. But then there's like a bad Tarzan in there.
He looks like a flesh spider. You're right. It's just, he looks like a spider made of flesh. This is very upsetting. I'm going to close it.
Yeah, no, I had to too. It's just, you kind of sink into it like a horror movie. You can't escape it. They get to the volcano and they blow up the side of the volcano to get into the center of the volcano. Now, this is an insane idea for multitudes of reasons. But apparently, inside of this volcano, there is just a cave of diamonds.
Yeah, just like sticking out of the rock, too. So many so close to the surface that it would take you not even like the whole afternoon to pull them out.
Yeah.
And get like a huge bag of them. Probably worth millions of dollars. I'm just gonna really quickly Google something.
Yeah.
Can diamonds exist in
a volcano?
Volcanoes. It seems like it'd be like, are there diamonds in volcanoes? Diamonds are not found in volcanoes.
I was gonna say, so like the reason that they wouldn't like this is me speaking from like a very low level of geological information, but diamonds are made with two things: pressure and heat. And the one thing volcanoes are not known for is being able to withstand a lot of pressure. Because if they could, all of that lava wouldn't keep fucking escaping. And it wouldn't be a volcano. It'd just be a mountain. And this volcano is clearly still active.
Yeah, so apparently, just a really quick look on this website called Volcano World from Oregon State University, is they're not in volcanoes, they come to the surface because of a rare type of volcanic vent. But they are not in volcanoes proper, because they're not formed that close to the surface.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. That's one thing the core gets right.
So anyway, yeah. So just so we're clear, everything there's nothing that is like scientifically sound in this movie.
No research was done in the making of this movie, right? No fucking books were harmed in the making of this film.
The only reason they even went to a volcano was so that it could explode later, and so that Tarzan could surf down it on a slab of rock in a way that would
down it.
Definitely kill everybody involved.
On a slab of rock. He surfs down it on a slab of rock, and they land in the trees, and it's like, well, we're safe now.
The worst part is Jane says, "Is this possible?"
Oh, this is fucking egregious.
It's not, Jane. No, you can't just lampshade the fact that you've made up physics.
You can't. Yeah, you can't hang a lamp on a fucking like. It's not lamp shading. It's dumb. You saying it's dumb isn't anything.
Yeah.
It's just saying, hey, look at how lazy of a writer I am. By the way. You want to just look? I just want to expose my pile of shit for what it is. I have no pride in my work. Like, if you cared so little, why make it at all? And this was a show. This went on to be a show. Honestly, they should have just let the old man die too. Like, there was a moment where he was about to just fall in that lava, like fucking Terminator. Just let him go. Yeah, man's got to die someday. Yeah, so Tarzan, and we skipped over this, but Tarzan gets betrayed. The guy tries to shoot him with the gun. Tarzan breaks the gun. Guy blows up the dynamite. Oh no, they're trapped in the volcano. Jane and the professor get there at some point, but it doesn't really matter how they got there, because they just got there. You know?
Yeah, who cares?
The movie certainly fucking doesn't. And the Turk is also there with Tantor, and they're like, oh, how are we going to get inside, Turk? I don't know. We can't, I guess. But then they surf out, and Turk and Tantor are like, hooray! And then they catch the bad guys who got trapped up a tree by the crocodiles, but now they're trapped up the tree by the lava. And Tarzan saves them, and he's like, you're gonna pay for what you did. And then they drop the diamonds, because they're idiots. Fucking can't even hold on to a bag of fucking diamonds. And it falls into the lava, and he's like, we have to go back for them. And Tarzan's like, you want to go back in that? And it's like, no.
That's what he says.
It's the exact line. It's so dumb. And then they get back to the colony, and they're both tied up and gonna go to prison. No, they're not. They're gonna go back to England, get a slap on the wrist, and be told, hey, don't try to steal diamonds in Africa. That's for rich people.
Wink. Don't get diamonds. Wink. From Africa. Wink.
You definitely shouldn't tell the trading companies where those diamonds are so that they can buy the land rights. And just exploit a continent. So they're all tied up. One of them at one point's like, I should have killed him when I had the chance. And Jane's like, now try to explain that to the authorities. And it's like, that's not anything.
Yeah, come on.
Right? Like, if anything, it's verbal assault, but like, it's not, I don't know, it's not really anything to go to prison for.
Not killing somebody is famously not a crime.
Yeah. But like, definitely the attempt of murder is a crime, but like, who's gonna punish them for it?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not like he can face his accuser.
Right? It's like, did Tarzan the ape man show up to court? All right, I guess you guys get to leave. He didn't show up. And the defense is sitting there like, God damn it, I knew he wasn't gonna make it.
This is why the Joker keeps getting out of prison.
Because Batman never shows up to the case.
Yes.
I think it's more because the evidence is circumstantial. It's why they keep sending him to an asylum. You don't need evidence to do that. So we get to the third movie. Oh, I wrote down.
Wait. No. Wait.
Yeah.
The moral of this story.
Oh, right.
Is that Tarzan was sad when he couldn't give Jane a diamond, and he will be more sad if she gives him something, and he realizes he no longer has a diamond for her. Now she can't give gifts.
This is really just gaslighting the movie.
It is so... I get... Oh, the end of this makes me so fucking angry.
So...
Okay.
Now we're in part 3, and the first word that I wrote in my notes are... No, absolutely not. There were not World War I era biplanes this far into the jungle pretty much ever.
I mean, in the plot, it could almost make sense. Because this guy has come out to the jungle on purpose, and this other guy who is also a British Air Force officer was probably following him. So you could say, this kind of makes sense, except for the fact that it is suddenly the 20th century.
Yeah.
And yet, this dude will constantly make reference to the Queen and Her Majesty. Even though, if it's World War I, it's a king.
Yeah, she died.
It's a fucking king. You're in World War I.
Like, she was dead a while.
Yes. It's the 20th century. There's a king now. It is, I believe, George?
Yes. Jane says, God save the Queen.
She does. In fact, I was like, haha, he's a spy. That's why he doesn't know there's a king. But it doesn't let me have that.
No. Also, I refuse to believe that waffle irons existed in the late Victorian era. I'm sorry. No. And even if they did, like, Britain was so anti-European, I don't think that they would be like, yeah, let's get really into this Dutch invention. I have a lot of complaints about how radios wouldn't work, but that's whatever. So
yeah, we touched on those.
We get a scene where Tarzan is like bad at dancing.
Oh yeah, that was the thing pulling us in, is that she can't even dance with Tarzan because of this story. Waffle irons are from the 14th century.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's insane to me. How did that even work? I guess they would just put it into an oven or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, you apparently even just like stuck them over a fire.
Whew. Well, then you'd have to flip it. But yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
What an incredibly specific tool.
Yeah, in the 14th century, when you think they would be trying to make other specific tools.
Yeah, things like useful.
But that's us looking back, probably.
Yeah, maybe at the time they were like, I don't know, maybe there's like a waffle cult.
Yeah, they're like, man, waffles are good.
What if we just ate waffles and only waffles? Fuck bread. But like, and I don't want to put too much of a fine point on it, but like, Tarzan is an incredibly athletic man. How hard is it to teach him how to dance? It shouldn't be that hard.
No, he's very flexible, too. Like, there's nothing that should stop him from being able to dance, at least passably.
Like, the motherfucker can vine surf. By the way, a thing that isn't done at all in this movie, I bet because it's super hard to do.
Yeah, it really looks like a feat of animation to me.
So, nice.
They dance to this song on the radio, but it doesn't last very long because the gorilla hair used in the radio burns up. It's whatever. Then they see a plane.
A plane goes down, and they're like, we should go investigate.
Mm-hmm.
So they go investigate, and in this plane is...
I forget his name.
James? I didn't even write it down.
James? I want to say it's James, probably.
No.
Damn.
That sounds too similar to Jane to be true. Like, I'm not putting it past this movie, but that is such a lazy...
I thought the professor called him Jimmy. Here, let me type in Tarzan and Jane and find it on the Wikipedia.
I was totally looking it up as well. Robert Candler.
Oh, not Jimmy. He calls him Robbie. Okay.
Yeah.
So, find Robert, Jane's childhood friend.
She practically knew him since she was a kid.
It's a really weird way to say, like, why didn't she say they grew up together?
Yeah, I know, right? It's such a weird sentence.
It's clearly what they're trying to say. And also later she calls him something like almost practically my brother or something.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Why didn't she just say like you're like a brother to me?
She does say that to Candler. She's like, Tarzan should know that I would never. She literally just basically says, yeah, Tarzan should know that I would never be with you. Not even a little bit. And this guy's just kind of like, oh man. Well, this is kind of a ringer that I'm being put through. All I want is this dumb music box.
Yeah, I mean, his plan is like, it's not anything. He could just get his box and leave, but he doesn't get to because I guess he's secretly a bad guy. Although it's hard for me to make that distinction personally.
Yeah, well, because why do we care? It's like, why does Tarzan care?
I have a real question. Why do we care about a war that isn't on for another maybe 50 years?
Well, and that's the other thing, is the gun that this motherfucker is holding.
Flown out of time.
The gun that this motherfucker is holding is from World War II.
So yeah, he has this, like, raven-headed cane. Okay, so, like, he doesn't seem villainous.
No.
But I know he's villainous because he's like another dude.
And as another dude who isn't an old insane man, it's like, this guy probably sucks.
Yes.
At one point, Tarzan says that his eyes remind him of Sabor's eyes, which is a heavy line, I think, right? It's like, hey, I feel like this guy's predatory.
But the problem with that is that he's not... For one thing, he is extremely human.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
The thing that he wants is money.
Uh-huh.
And, like, yeah, fine. That's more like Clayton than Sabor. And even though it is, this whole thing is coded as, like, a love triangle.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, he has no interest in Jane. He seems to like Jane.
Jane also has no interest in him.
Yes, they used to be friends, and maybe you could make an argument that they still are friends, but there is no romance between them. There's not even, like, a second of it. In no way is he really predatory, even though that's a pretty cool line.
It is a cool line, but also, this is another plot. This plot would have made more sense if Tarzan had gone to live in England with people. It makes no sense here in the jungle. So this guy shows up and he's like, I want this music box. I want to give it to someone very special to me. And Jane's like, oh yeah, sure, here, go ahead, take it. And he's like, thanks. And she's like, well, we should see if it still makes music. And I thought when she opened it, it was like there was gonna be a gun inside or something, or a bomb. But no, it's just a music box. But somehow
it's legitimately a music box.
And it starts playing music, and she's like, I can outdance you. And he's like, I can outdance you any day. And so they start dancing, which, like, Jane says she's not into this guy, but she immediately is just like, you know what, let's go all in.
Yeah, there is that thing. They talked about how they both took dancing lessons together. So, like, it could be that she does not have the sort of distance from this relationship that makes her see that's what that would look like, you know?
It's kind of a weird framing. It's like, I don't understand why the movie does this push-pull with it. But yeah. Tarzan's all, like, miffed up about it. Turk is like, maybe you're just jealous. And he's like, you're right, I am just jealous. And so he's gonna go and give Jane flowers and apologize for being jealous, sees them dancing, and leaves.
Yeah, which is weird because, like, he knew he was jealous. He should still apologize for being jealous, even if he happens to be feeling jealous right now.
At that moment. But maybe it was too much for his wild man brain to handle.
Yeah.
So he runs away, and Jane's like, oh no, we need to go after him. I need to tell him that there's absolutely no way that I would ever find you attractive.
I kind of wish that it was sold that well. But it's kind of not, because, again, this guy really has no interest in her.
Either. And then, I don't know what happens here, but there's a scuffle, like his being a bad person comes out.
Yeah, so what happens is I don't know why they end up, like, bumping into each other or whatever. Because he's like, yeah, I'll just take this and go. And then he falls, and the music box falls, and it's like a fucking code-breaking machine.
I guess.
Which, I mean, we could look it up, but I don't think that was really a thing until World War II.
Absolutely not. It absolutely wasn't a thing.
Like, codes were huge in World War II. So the fact that he's a World War I pilot with a World War II gun and a World War II code breaker in the Victorian era is, like, this movie's fucking wild. It's just so dumb.
It makes no sense. But anyway, so she finds out he's evil.
And Jane is like, this is what she's like, God save the queen, and like kicks him in the face and takes the music box / code breaking machine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I really genuinely want to know. Why does Jane care? I mean, I don't get why Tarzan cares, right? Because like he shouldn't. But Jane left, and in World War I don't think there was ever the idea that like losing the war would be the end of British ideals, which is like what everybody was thinking in England in like World War II, which is like Hitler wants to come to here and kill all of us.
Yeah, no, it was for sure like World War I. It was like France is gonna cease to exist.
England was in the war because they were allies with somebody else. I don't remember exactly who, because it's actually a mess.
Because World War I is a mess of politics.
Because World War I is just like, it was completely a mistake that people just kept making the exact same way over and over until they were at war. But like, I don't think she should have cared so much, because she is fundamentally not English anymore.
We completely forgot to bring up, because we mentioned it at some when the fucking smug man shows up. It's because there was an explosion and he shows up at the camp and saves the day before Tarzan can. Whatever, who cares?
Oh yeah, I barely noticed that.
I must have fallen asleep through this and I know I said earlier that this is the one I remember the best, and I'm realizing now I don't remember it much at all, because there's a bunch of stuff in my notes and I'm like, oh, I don't even remember that.
We did talk about the whole
explosion thing.
The explosion, the fire, even though it was a radio, and those are mostly like, I want to say like quartz crystal and wire, so how does that even happen?
Yeah. So Tarzan then runs into this other dude who's trying to fend off jaguars by shooting at them with a modern day pistol.
And I knew that this guy would be back because nobody ever dies in sequels. Because in the very, very beginning, he was shot down. Anyway, it turns out this guy is really a British aviary officer. And is like, oh, this other guy, this Robert guy, he's a dick. And he's a traitor.
He's a he betrayed. And again, Tarzan doesn't understand the concept of a nation.
Right. And he even says, like, he betrayed your family. And he's like, well, you could say that. Well, man, you actually couldn't, because your people are, like, occupying this place. It's not good.
Yeah.
Tarzan should be totally okay with letting England fall.
Well, and to be fair, this motherfucker gets himself into Tarzan's bad spot, because instead of just tying up Jane and leaving her at the treehouse, he kidnaps her.
That was pretty weird.
Why? Why would he do that? What does he gain? Like, if he left her there and she radioed England and said, this guy flew over and he betrayed everybody, England already knew. They sent a guy after him.
Yeah, there's no reason for this to have happened. I understand why he doesn't just kill her. It's because he doesn't want to kill her. Because he is not as bad a person as Tarzan says he is.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Here's the thing. He is not very much of a jingoist, unlike everybody else in this movie, apparently. And he likes money. That's fine.
Yeah, he's not the one throwing around fucking words like civilized and savage.
Yeah.
Which Jane throws around so much in regard to Tarzan. It's insane. So he kidnaps Jane. Tarzan shows up and he's like, well, I have to go get him. So he chases him down. He chases down a plane. Tarzan chases down a plane.
And the plane is like way up in the sky when he says, I can get him. And it's like, what? No, you can't.
How? But he does. And
it's from like jumping off the side of a cliff and like throwing a spear with a vine tied around it, and just hitting the plane and catching it and climbing up. It's
like he's fucking hunting a whale.
It's wild. It's dumb. If this scene was better, this would be like a great dumb end to this movie.
There is a moment where this plane is flying forward. This plane is flying forward for most of this scene, right? And it cuts to a front view of the plane, and the background behind it is moving sideways. And I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You chose to make it this way, and you couldn't do it. And it does it over and over again, and it's like, I have no idea what direction this plane is flying in, how big the plane is.
Oh, that's impossible. In one scene, Jane is in the cockpit, and then another one, she's just not anymore. She's just in the back seat. And it's like, Jane, they showed her climbing up to it, but never climbing back.
She flies the plane for a bit, but because, again, Jane can't be competent for more than 0.2 seconds, she basically crashes the plane.
Oh, but while she's doing that, in the fucking slowest climax I've ever seen, Tarzan and Robbie get into a fight, and Robbie reveals that his cane is a cane sword.
Oh.
Nothing comes of it. He, swings a sword, but that's all he's doing for the whole time that Jane is flying the plane, and it's, so slow-paced.
And I think he loses the sword.
Come on, dude, give me something. Also, I don't think that cane should have been a sword. The whole time he'd been so competent using it as a cane to just, hook on stuff, he was like Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
and
but with
the moment
cane.
He revealed it was a sword, it was immediately less useful.
It was less cool. He gets defeated, but then the plane crashes and he gets away, and he's like, haha, you'll never catch me now. And he starts leaving, and then the plane starts falling off of a waterfall, because of course it does, and Tarzan grabs the vine because it's about to break and the plane's about to fall, and Jane starts falling into the propeller because she can't just fucking leave. And Robbie's like, well, now I've got to go back and save them because I like Jane, I guess. And he goes back and he's like, come on, everybody, let's climb into this plane. And they climb into the plane and it falls off the waterfall. And oh no, they died. But wait, it flies out from the clouds. And it's like, that's not a high enough waterfall for that to happen. But fuck it. They did it.
We're not going to be worrying about physics now. The one interesting thing about Robbie was that he did not... He was not apparently a bad enough person to just let Jane die. But honestly, he was such a conglomeration of weird tropes that it was just nonsensical. And he was the guy who was the most of a character in all of these. And he's still kind of nothing.
But it's not because he was written interestingly. It's because there are so many insane facts that we know about him.
Yes.
That you're trying to fill the holes in your head, and in doing so create a character that's interesting. So they give him to this other British guy whose plane is fixed, or maybe they just gave him Robbie's plane. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, who cares?
And he's like, we're gonna take him back, and he's gonna probably be shot to death by firing squad, because that's what we did then. And Robbie's like, I'll see you sometime again, Jane. Wink. Wink. And the other guy's like, stop winking. You're not going to see anyone again, ever. You're going to die. We're going to kill you. And he's like, or are you? Wink. Wink. Maybe it's too bad there isn't a TV show that I could make cameos on. Wink.
He's like, I'm the hero of a 40s radio show. You can't kill me.
And so the moral of this story, Tony, what's the moral of this guy?
Oh my gosh. The moral of this story is she can't dance with Tarzan because he'll think about the time that he saw her dancing with Robbie and got sad.
Stupid.
All of Jane's ideas have been shot down by Turk, Tantor, and her father. And she's like, great, I guess I can't do anything for the person I love on our anniversary. That's just awesome. Because Tarzan is apparently the most fragile human being in the universe.
Yeah, it's like he's a person, not a fucking, a porcelain statue. Just talk to him about it. Jesus.
But she doesn't. She's just sad. And now she goes home where there's a bunch of gorillas. Oh, and there's a party happening.
And it's a surprise party in which Tarzan gives her a diamond and dances with her. Because the real moral of this movie isn't that women can't give their husbands things, it's that they can't give them things until their husbands say it's okay. Fuck this movie.
Oh, and everybody was laughing, ha 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 ha. And
really
I was like, ha ha ha, we made you feel helpless and miserable. Jesus, guys. Why did this seem like a good idea? Why does Tarzan know what a fucking surprise party is?
Right? It's terrible. And they dance and they kiss and his mom's there.
Hey, I just want to mention something. I've never had a surprise party, and never in my life have I seen a piece of media that made it seem like a cool thing to have. It always seems like the most weird, gaslighty, miserable thing.
The entire concept of a surprise party infuriates me. It's like, I I want things told to me in advance because 90% of the time I don't want to do things with other people.
Yeah, I want to plan.
I need to
when I'm having a
prepare for
party.
that. I can't just hang out with people. That needs to be scheduled.
I need to know a week at a time if I have to see someone.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm like such a weird person because, like, hanging out with friends, I need a set date for that. But also sometimes I'll just drive to California and hang out in LA by myself. Like, I'm an enigma of a person. But I do that because it's like LA. I don't do that anymore, obviously. But like, it's nice to be lost in a crowd, just be in a place where people are doing things. And LA is one of those cities where nobody really pays you any mind. Fuck this movie. This movie's 115 minutes of garbage. No one should ever watch it for any reason. If you like the show, you're wrong.
I mean, the show is inherently a piece of racist media because I bet you there is not a black person on it.
No, there couldn't be, right? That's the thing, is there couldn't be.
And, like, the longer you go without addressing the fact that there are no natives in this world you've made about Africa, the worse it gets.
Also, I just can't.
Yeah, actually, fuck it. This movie's just bad.
Yeah, it's just not good. I don't want to get into it.
Thank you for listening to Direct to Video VHS. This is my kind of a downer.
We still got to watch Tarzan 2 next time.
Yeah. Jesus.
Would you recommend this movie? I don't know if you ever said that. You didn't, right? You were like, this movie's also bad? Let's start there.
It's bad. Don't watch Tarzan and Jane.
Don't watch Tarzan.
You can watch Tarzan if you are aware of the fact that it's just not a very good movie, and the fact that it just ignores the poor politics of Tarzan in general is not good. But Tarzan and Jane does all of that stuff with like no upside.
Yeah, it's just bad.
There's like no moment where you're like, oh, this is beautifully animated. Or no moment where you're like, the story is kind of everywhere, but I'm a little bit into it. There's no moment where you're like, man, maybe I like Phil Collins. I couldn't do that one.
Okay.
But like, it's just rough. It's just like,
and we really didn't spend a lot of time on the animation, but the animation is dog shit. It's so bad, and like, kudos to the people who worked on it. Like, I'm sure that they did their best, and I'm sure that they were working really hard, but the fact of the matter is that it's just not a good-looking movie. And there are times when it just looks absolutely alien. Like, some of the characters' faces and how they move is just like, ooh, it's no good.
You can find me at you can find the... What?
You can find this podcast at direct2.video.
I think probably the video for that will accompany this podcast is going to be just us talking about Tarzan's hand feet and a picture of Tarzan with his hand feet. Because that's actually pretty important to me.
Yeah, no, it requires visual aid. You can also just find our podcast wherever you have a podcatcher. We would really appreciate it if you would rate us 5 stars on iTunes. And you can find me on Twitter at royalty_valens.
And you can find me on Twitter at TheaterBats. And the comic that I do, inspired by trueevents.org. And you could mail us at mail@direct2.video. I forgot to do that for a while.
That is good. That is true.
It's still there.
Mail is good. I still do want to do that Doctor Who thing that was recommended. I just know that if we do it, I'm gonna have a lot of we're gonna have a lot of conversation about Doctor Who. I think as a thing.
Yeah.
That's a conversation that begs to be made. And as always, thanks to Lee Rosevier for Planet E off the album Trappist 1.
Okay, yeah, and next time we're gonna watch... God, is it called Tarzan 2?
I think it's called Tarzan 2. Tarzan Nomen Rumoral 2. What?
No. Rumoral.
I am also tired. Yeah.
That is egregious. And I am the ghost of John Smith.
This is a spot. Why did you have to start with that, man? Like...
Are we just gonna blame me for starting with this when I feel like you more set the set the tone? I'm gonna readjust like when I'm in this position. I'm definitely jollier.
Yeah.
This is me in this position. Everything's fine now.
No, positions definitely affect mood. It's science.
You ever go to New Zealand?
No, I've never been to New Zealand. I hear it's nice this time of year.
New Zealand is specifically nice this time of this year.
I think this year New Zealand is pretty nice. It seems like a great place to go
and live forever, so you don't have to deal with everybody else.
Yeah.
Gosh, New Zealand.
What a place.
I don't know. I would love to find out why it seems to me to be some kind of paradise.
What I'll say about this is that in a world where going to places is unadvisable, New Zealand really is the place to go.
Yep.
And if we look over here, I have a box of clothing that was delivered to me.